Welcome back everyone. In the last video I have implemented the login functionality. In this video I will implement the auto login feature. In the login view here I have made a minor mistake. Whenever the login is failure, at that time here instead of using custom snack bar show success, here we need to use the show error method. Now let's proceed with the auto login functionality. In the auto login functionality, here I will check that if the user is already logged in, then the user will be redirected to the to-do screen. Otherwise, the user will be redirected to the login screen. And to do that, here actually we need to check the user session. If the user session is valid, this means the user is logged in, and in that case we need to redirect the user to the to-do screen, else to the login screen. And to check the session, I will move to the auth repository, and here if you remember that whenever the user logs in, at that time it returns a session. We need to check this session whether it is valid or not, and to do that here I will create another function named as check session. So let me copy this and I will change its name to check session, and this function will not take any parameter, so I will remove this, and I need to provide an implementation of this method. For that I will copy this particular code of login, I will paste it here, and I will change this function name to check session, and here I need to remove all these parameters. This is not required. After that the internet connection will be checked, and here instead of using create email password session, here we need to use appwrite provider.account.get session, and here I need to get the current session. So in the session ID, here I will pass current. So this will retrieve the current session, and if everything is okay, then it will return the session, otherwise it will return the failure. The remaining code will remain same. After that I will move to the splash folder in the features. As you can see in the features we have this splash folder. Here I will create a Cubit, and to do that I will right click and create a new Cubit. I will give the Cubit name as splash. So it will create a Cubit folder, and inside that we have splash state and splash Cubit. Let me move to splash state. Let me remove this immutable from here, and after that it has created a sealed class named with splash state and a final class which is extending the splash state, and the class name is splash initial. Here I will create few more classes: splash loading, splash success, and splash error. Let me change the name as well, so it will be splash loading. Let me change it to splash success, and here I will change it to splash error. And in case of error, here I will declare a final variable, final string error, and I will create the constructor of this class splash error, and to this constructor I will pass required this dot error. So we have created the splash state. Now we need to move to splash Cubit, and here let me remove this, and let me click here and import the Flutter Bloc package. Now here first of all I need the instance of auth repository, so I will create final auth repository equals to, I will use locator, and to this locator here I will locate auth repository, and now I will create a method void check session. Obviously I need to declare this as async, and here whenever this function will be called, first of all we need to emit a state splash loading. After that I will declare a variable final res equals to, now with the help of this auth repository, I will call the check session. Now here I will use res dot, here I need to use await res dot fold, and it will take left and right. To this left I will use failure, and whenever there is a failure I need to emit which state? We need to emit splash error, and here in this error I will pass failure dot message, and here we need to use, if it is success, then here I will use session, and we need to emit a state, that is splash success. So our check session function has been created inside the splash qubit. Now we need to call this from the view of splash. So I will move to this splash view, and here in the init state, by default here I have redirected to the login screen. Now I need to remove this code, and here I will call the check session method. So I will use context dot read, and here I need to specify the qubit, that is splash qubit, and with this I can call the check session method. Now here I will wrap this image dot asset with block consumer. So I will wrap this, and here instead of subject block it will be splash qubit, and here I need to use splash state, and in the listener here I will listen to the different states. So first of all I will listen if state is splash loading. At that time, as usual, we need to display the full screen dialog loader, and to do that I will use full screen dialog loader dot show, and here I need to pass the context. Now again I will copy this, paste it, and here I will check if it is success. This means if the session is valid, then in that case I need to cancel the full dialog loader, and from here I will redirect to roots name dot todo. If the session is valid, then obviously we need to redirect to the todo screen, and if there is a failure I will copy this once again, and now here I will check if it is error. At that time again I need to cancel, and from here I need to redirect to login screen, right? And here I can display a message as well with the help of this custom snack bar dot show error, and here I will pass the message. Which message? Here I will pass state dot error. Fine. After that, the splash qubit which we have created, that I need to register in the main dot dart. So I will move to main dot dart, and I will copy this, paste it here, and instead of login qubit here I will use splash qubit. So if we have not written this code of checking the session, then whenever the app will be launched, at that time we will be redirected to the login screen. But after writing this code, it will check if the current session is active, then the user will be redirected to the todo screen, else it will be redirected to the login screen. Now let me do a hot restart and let me show you the output. If I hot restart, then you can see that from the splash screen it is checking the session and it is redirected to the todo screen. Why? Because in the last video I have done a login and that session is still valid. That's why the user has been redirected to the todo screen. If the session is invalid, then the user will be redirected to the login screen. That's how we can do auto login with the help of Appwrite and Flutter Bloc. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.